Peace and pawns, my people. It's your neighborhood hero, Saint, you dig? Back again with another chess video, 30 minutes rapid. Without further ado, let's get into it. Let's play some chess. The more games I play, the better I get. One reason I like putting my bishop out early is so once my knight is here, that's a whole check. Take my knight. I guess it wouldn't be good. Okay, I'm glad they didn't go for that. Let's castle, and then I'll be able to just move my knight out of the way. Because they could bring the rook over and take, and then take. They would win. Unless I bring my pawn up. But then they could bring their knight down. Could their knight go anywhere? No, not really. So I would just bring my pawn up. So I'm okay. If I check, sacrifice the knight, they take, or they take, I check. Maybe they bring the queen, they take. I could exchange at this point. Could exchange. Yeah, I don't want them to bring that. If they take with the queen, I could still swoop in another check. They maybe might block with the knight. I would imagine. I would block with the knight. But they might block with the queen. If they block with the queen. I would trade queens. That's okay. So let's sacrifice the knight. I'm gonna sacrifice the knight. Then we're gonna take that bishop. Okay. And let's take the bishop first. Because they might move the pawn up to block from my queen. And they ended up castling. Okay, let's see here. Maybe. Let's try going here. Okay. I bring my bishop here. They take. I take with the pawn, create, and then I can create that pawn chain. Let's open up these rooks so my rooks are together first. I don't expect them to move the e6 pawn up because there's too many attackers on that square. They only have one defender. I wouldn't imagine. How do I get rid of that pony? And they do exactly what I... Maybe if I did move up, which that knight covers that square, so I can't right now. But I can check with my bishop. They would immediately take. I could take it back, checking again. And then I'm seeing they could possibly go here if I was to take right after this whole battle, then take. They take, I take. They could bring their queen down here. So before that, let's put my rook in the fight. I'm thinking they're gonna create that little pawn chain. Can't do too much with that though, so I'm not really worried. So now they can't even take the pawn on d4 because I would definitely, and they do. Maybe they think I'm gonna take with the rook. If I took with the rook, they can't. I'm pinning their bishop to their queen. Now let's play. You know what? That was actually a free pawn I could have took. Could have took. Well, I can take at any point in time at this point. Maybe you can defend the pawn with the bishop, but then that would be a free bishop. So they could move here. Let's take. Take. And checkmate. Alright. 625. Let's play one more. My old reliable Queen's Gambit. It's sometimes a punk fake with this bishop here, this white square bishop. But sometimes people might want me to move my pawn up to expose this area. It's fast. Sticking to principles. Let's see where that takes me. Everything is defended. Bring my queen to c2, bishop to d2. take. I'm gonna open up this file here, but I feel like they might take. If they do take, I could check, but then they block with the knight. Let's get my rooks together first, and then let's develop all development, and then let's go for that game. Unless they take first, they take first, and yeah, I'm not gonna move that pawn yet. Or I'm not gonna worry about this pawn just yet, because now this bishop is protecting this pawn and this knight, because I don't want to expose my king. So I don't want to overwork this bishop too much. And then they block their queen, so okay. So either way, let's take. Either way they do it. Okay, so they did go for that. Alright, cool. So let's do let's stand. So I'm gonna move up. If they take, I take. They could bring the queen down. It looks like they're going to castle king side. Put my rook out into play. I want them to actually castle before I do that, though. Because then they're going to try desperately to castle queen side. So go ahead. I'm just waiting for them to castle. Move. But I'll go to g5 to bring the pawn up. I take, they take. Let's gain some more space here. Once they castle, I'm gonna swoop in with my bishop, break their barriers down. exposing that king. Still take the... I can still take the bishop. I sacrificed the king. I sacrificed the king. I sacrificed the queen. And with me moving my rook there, now I could take the queen if they... Oh, really? Really? You did that? Did you really? No. You can't. That does nothing. There's nothing. As of right now, let's see how much space we have here. I have one. Well, excuse me. They have one. I knew they were going to do that. They have one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They basically have 10 squares. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, I have a lot more space. So this is the only reason why most of the moves that I do will be good if I choose to do so. I'm not going to risk taking a rook for a queen. I don't think I would ever do that. So I'm going to... Ooh. Okay. If they come here with the knight, I'll just take the rook. Okay, let's move the queen. Then I could pin the queen to the king. Or if they move the knight, then. But they can move the knight and develop their queen's knight. They can do that. Okay. They can do that. If so, awesome. And I can take it. And I would definitely trade my knight for the bishop. So they move the bishop. No biggie, no biggie. And it is attacking my queen. So let me... E3 seemed like the best move at that point. I could have traded, actually. I could have traded, and I would have been good. I didn't want to, but then they could have took my bishop and then forked my 2 rooks. So that's why I actually went there. But I did see a trade I could have done. It would have been a bad trade because then I'm doubling up my pawns. So I moved to A3. So they moved their bishop back. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start this once. Excuse me. Both of these knights can go only black squares at this point. So here, 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 if you will, here, here, and here, here. So see my rook out of there. Should just went up with my bishop. I mean, I should have just went up with the pawn, saved that. But now I can. That's what I thought. And I'll sacrifice. I'm up material anyway, so I can sacrifice. Should I create this battery? And then pin the queen? Oh, a fork. A fork. So, should I sacrifice the rook? They take. I pin the queen. Ooh. I pin the queen to the king. They move here. I break here. Alright, let's do it. I'm up material anyway, it's fine. Usually when you're up material, you can sacrifice. Well, you can sacrifice or exchange pieces. I did not. It's not really what I imagined. But I could still do it, even if they do come down. I could just take, and now my rook is protecting my bishop. But either way, I'm coming for that queen. Gotta look for skewers. Gotta look for pins. Those are the main things that are gonna get you wins in chess when you're like, I would say 500 and above. Definitely the pins once you're in the 500 elo, but once you start getting to 600, 575, 590, 600, 620, gonna want to start looking for skewers, definitely, and pins. They're gonna help out a lot. And then it helps you also plan ahead and actually see moves ahead. So you can see like 2, 3 moves ahead, or 6 moves ahead, even 10. Yeah, they can't really take anything. They could sacrifice. They could take my rook. I was about to say they could sacrifice my rook. I sacrifice my rook. They could sacrifice my rook, but then I'll just take the queen. Do you really want to take 5 points and give up 9? Doesn't sound like a good deal. And then you gotta also learn how to count in a battle as well. And I see them eyeing my backwards pawn, my d4 pawn there, which I guess no, not really, because it's protected by both. Yeah, see, that doesn't really do anything unless they bring their queen to. Well, they can't because the the queen is bent. You can't move the queen. You have to move the king, and then I would take the queen, and you'd probably what? They'd probably take the bishop, and if they take the bishop, I just check with the queen. So let's go back at that game review. All right, so let's look at that. Okay, 600, not a good rating, not the best rating. Maybe it's because I didn't finish the whole game. I don't know. So first starts Queen's Gambit. I know it by heart now. So those are all book moves. I could have moved in the knight and attack the bishop. Tell me how. Okay, that was the best move for them. But what was the best move? Oh, no. Okay, best move for me. And then I want to see the follow-up. Okay. And then I guess I could trap the bishop. Maybe come up the pawn. Then if they came up, attack my knight, I could just come up with the pawn, protecting my pawn. They probably take. I take. It would be equal in material, but this pawn is protected. I will try that next time. Alright, let's keep going here. Let's see. All good moves, all great moves actually, not good. So I should have took. Let's see. That is a free pawn. That's why it told me to take it. It's a free pawn on d5. That is a free pawn. So I moved my rook over, getting ready to move my bishop for a discovered check. They move their knight. I take that free pawn. And then if they had any sense, they would castle right after that. If they could see the discovered check that I was going to play, that I would play after that. So let me think like a computer. So yeah, that was a bad move because now my rook is lined up right with your king and queen. Your queen, your queen, your kiwi, your kiwi, your kiwi. That's king and queen together. Okay. I said it was a great move, but I don't think that was the best move for me. It was a good move. It wasn't a great move. Okay. Yeah, I thought about that. But then I can't move my queen and come into battle diagonally with my queen. I didn't want to block my queen out of that. So I try to look at the whole board as well. So they took that. Yep. Yep. Yeah. I don't know what they were thinking with that one. What's the follow-ups? Take. And that's checkmate. Queen to e8 is checkmate. And I will win that game. Alright. Alright, guys. That is all the chess for today. As always, keep your peace and keep your pawns. Love you all. Thanks for all the new subscribers that just subscribed. Welcome to the Brain Overboard community. Checkmate Saint out. Peace.